Hello, BookTube. I figure since I had the camera set up already after having told you all to read the Iliad and the Odyssey in 1 week, that I would do a mail haul. I've got a bunch of books here, so let's go through them and see what might be of interest. This first one is about a Watergate break-in. it's coming apart at the seams. So maybe it's something big. That would be nice. Start off nice and big. Oh, and it is. It's the finished copy. I don't know if we saw this or not. This is due in mid-September. It's a new collection of the poems of Marianne Moore. Very refreshingly showing her without her tri-corner hat. Maybe concentrate on the poems instead of what a weirdo she was. That would be nice. Oh boy, this is very nice. Okay, so you have a very long introduction, a nice thorough introduction, and then notes in the back, which is good, and the notes take the form of observations. Okay, so what do we have here? Oh, okay. So the observations are scattershot. They all include the first time the poem was published and the first time it was collected, and where and when. But they don't always include glosses or explanations of any kind. And and especially refreshingly, some of the observations are alternate versions of the poems. Very nice. Why, this might be the best collection of Marianne Moore that there is. Oh, nice dignified looking thing too. All right, very good. Off to a fine start. Let's go on to this one here. What is this? Another finished copy would be nice. Ah, okay. It is another finished copy. This is due in mid-June. It's an intriguing thing. I got the advance copy and mailed it out right away before I even read it. It's by Karen Rothman, and it's The Song We Know Best, the early life of John Ashbury, the poet. Isn't that a lovely cover? This is the early life. Songs We Know Best is the first comprehensive biography of the early life of John Ashbury, by common consensus, the dominant poet of our time. some nether corner of hell, Wallace Stevens has just felt a prick. What do you mean? I wrote all that bad verse for nothing? In chronicling the 28 years that led up to Ashbury's stunning debut, Karen Rothman shows how Ashbury's poetry, paradoxical and utterly new, arose from his early experience both in the family farm and 1950s New York City. Okay. All right, so intensely poetic beginning. We can't possibly keep that up. There's enough new poetry coming out that I've ever known about or requested. So let's see what this next one is here. This pile of books does in fact end with not one but two boxes. So, all right, poetry's over. This is a memoir, if I remember correctly. This is Daring to Drive: A Saudi Woman's Awakening by Manal al-Sharif. Daring to Drive. It's due in mid-June, and it's a rare glimpse into the day-to-day life of a typical Saudi woman, telling the remarkable story of how Manal al-Sharif became the accidental leader of the Women to Drive movement, which first stunned Saudi Arabia and then the world in 2011. Okay, so this is her memoir. Is this, I assume, translated? Yes? No? Doesn't mention a translator. Is it possible she wrote it in English? Well, I've seen advanced copies of it, but I haven't read it. I don't think I ever got an advanced copy of my own, and it's inherently interesting, so we'll give it a try. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to this next one. Okay, this is a murder mystery from 7th Street Books. It's due in early September, and it is called Idle Fears by Stephanie Gale. Road in the Snow on the cover. A Thomas Lynch novel. It's 2 weeks before Christmas, 1997, and Police Chief Thomas Lynch faces a crisis when Cody Forand, a 6-year-old with a life-threatening medical condition, goes missing during a blizzard, hence the cover. Lynch's suspicion about who abducted Cody are met with scorn by his detectives, some of whom can't handle the fact that he's gay. With half the station out sick with the flu, Lynch seeks help seeks outside help. It arrives in the shape of an FBI agent for whom Lynch feels an immediate attraction. To complicate matters, local crime is on the rise, and Lynch finds himself the target of prank calls and hate speech that he worries is the work of a colleague. Time is ticking away. Lynch is struggling to discover who is behind Iddle's crime spree, and he's beginning to doubt that Cody will ever be found. The town's name is Iddle. Okay, well, it can be forgiven. So there was a previous one, Iddle Threats. This is so you're just inviting it's Iddle Threats and Iddle Fears. You're just inviting the reader to pronounce it ideal, Iddle, whatever. Okay, well, I'm up for a good murder mystery. This doesn't come out until September though, so I may wait on it a bit. But anyway, that's an interesting turn out of left field. Let's see what the next one is. Nice and heavy. Could be another finished copy. Whoopsies. Oh, did you see that? The pub sheet went flying away. It's out of my reach. We're on our own. Oh, I don't need a pub sheet for this. Oh, this is Kenneth White's Hoover. This is his gigantic new biography of Herbert Hoover. An Extraordinary Life in Extraordinary Times. All right. Fantastic. This comes out in October. I mentioned before that it's a slew of presidential biographies coming out. Big ones that look to be tilting at received opinion, all of them. So who knows what. I very much like that. But let's see here. The definitive biography of one of the most remarkable Americans of the 20th century. But we don't... There were 2 Hoover biographies last year. They can't all be definitive. A revisionist account that will forever change the way Americans understand the man, his presidency, and his battle against the Great Depression. Kenneth White fully captures this rich, dramatic life, from Hoover's difficult childhood to his meteoric business career, his work saving hundreds of thousands of lives during World War I and after the 1927 Mississippi floods, his presidency, his painful defeat by Roosevelt, his return to grace as Truman's emissary to help European refugees after World War II. White brings to life Hoover's complexity and contradictions, his modesty and ambition, ruthlessness and extreme generosity, as well as his political legacy. Okay. All right, I'm totally up for it. I think this fall is going to be, late summer and fall is going to be an amazing series for season for biographies. I'm all for that. The next one's much smaller. It might be a slim volume of poetry. Let's see here. Although any slim volume of poetry we get is going to look fairly anemic next to Marianne Moore. But let's see what this is. Oh my God, is it poetry? Yes, it is. All right, it is a slim volume of poetry. Comes out in early October, and it is Advice from the Lights by Stephen Burt. It's a slim little thing from Grey Wolf Press. All right, so we're up to 2 volumes of poetry. I've got this one here. Heavy, feels like another finished copy. Let's see what this one is. Oh, it's more poetry. Oh, and it doesn't get any. It's even Marianne Moore loses out to the Bible. This is Poets of the Bible by Willis Barnstone. His translation of the verse of the Bible as verse, as opposed to the long-standing literary tradition of translating into English as prose, with maybe bits of verses here and there. I think I mentioned on this channel before in one of my 2,575 videos, I'm a big fan of Willis Barnstone and the work that he does with re-envisioning the Bible in translation, the Old Testament and New Testament. It's fantastic. This comes out soon, I think. This comes out in June, I think. This is the finished copy. It's rather nice looking. This is a semi-poetical book haul. Yeah, this comes out at the end of June. I wasn't able to interest any editor in paying me to review it, but I wouldn't miss reviewing it myself for all the world. So I'll do it for Open Letters Weekly. And then we've got the 2 boxes. We're at the end here. Let's see here what this first one is. There's no way there'll be more poetry in these boxes. Okay. I did not request this. It comes with no. Oh no, it does have a postage. It's from Oxford University Press, and it comes out on June the 1st, and it's right up my alley. I didn't request it, but it's right up my alley. It's The Martyr and the Traitor subtitled Nathan Hale, Moses Dunbar, and the American Revolution by Virginia DeJohn Anderson. Who is she when she's at home? Oh, look at that. Don't you want to learn what she has to teach you? What a great cover photo, or author photo. She's a professor of history at the University of Colorado at Boulder. And she's the author of a slew of books, including Creatures of Empire, How Domestic Animals Transformed Early America. That was a wonderful book. Oh, my. Oh, that was wonderful. I read that and loved it. Great. Okay. So this is about Nathan Hale. In September 1776, two men from Connecticut each embarked on a dangerous mission. One of the men, a soldier disguised as a schoolmaster, made his way to British-controlled Manhattan and began furtively taking notes and sketches to bring back to the beleaguered Continental General George Washington. The other man traveled to New York to accept a captain's commission in a loyalist regiment before returning home to recruit others to join British forces. Neither man completed his mission. Both met their deaths at the end of a hangman's rope, one executed as a spy for the American cause, and the other as a traitor to it. Oh, all right, so it's not just the story of Nathan Hale. It's a parallel story of him and Moses Dunbar. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's a brilliant idea. Okay, fantastic. Oh, my God. This is so scholarly. Great. All right. Revolutionary War history, and a surprise, too. Fantastic. And then this one here, the last of the boxes. This is bigger than the other one, twice as big. What have we got here? Got this thing taped up like Fort Knox. How can we get in here? All right, that ought to do it. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's more than one book. It's many books. Oh, it's penguins. All right. Well, we end really well. We end really well then. All right. So we have three of the new Pelican Shakespeares. They're doing Pelican. They redesigned the covers. They're doing all of these new beautiful trade paperbacks. You have Henry V, As You Like It, and Richard III. Great, fantastic. And then a Black Spine Penguin classic. This is Tales of the Marvelous and News of the Strange, a medieval Arab fantasy collection, which came out originally. I almost want to say that I know, because I saw it. I got copies, and or maybe it was this. Maybe it was this. This it says it was originally published by Penguin in 2014. Maybe that's where I saw it. And maybe they just did it in some different edition. I'm going to have to look online, because I know this didn't look this way when I originally saw it. I think I may even have got a copy of it. Tales of the Marvelous and News of the Strange, a medieval Arab fantasy collection, due in mid-June. Dating from at least a millennia ago, surviving in a single ragged manuscript in a library in Istanbul. This text contains the first English translation of the earliest known Arabic short stories since their discovery in 1933. Wow. An Arabic classic that predates the Arabian Nights. Very nice. Okay. All right, so we end on the best of all possible notes, a Penguin classic from my collection. And these three Pelicans to add to. I'm looking forward to the day when I have the whole of these all in one whole shelf of Shakespeare. That would be great. All right, so that's it. I don't know how I'm going to do this here. We've got The Martyr and the Traitor, Nathan Hale. We have Poets of the Bible, Willis Barnstone, doing the New and Old Testament, bits and pieces from the New and Old Testament in vigorous new translations. A slim volume of poetry by Stephen Burt. A big fat biography of Herbert Hoover. Idle Fears, a murder mystery set in 1997. Daring to Drive, a Saudi woman's memoir. The Songs We Know Best, the early life of John Ashbury. The collected poems of Marianne Moore. And a stack of penguins. There you go. Very nice. All right, so that'll do for now, and I will see you soon, Book 2. Thank you.